At 4, the Missouri Attorney General's fight to pull St. Louis prosecutor Kim Gardner from office is heating up again. Just in the last hour, News 4 obtained new allegations against Gardner. AG Andrew Bailey filing stacks of tons of details into 121 pages. New evidence wrapping around the theme that Gardner is willfully neglecting her duties. Since the AG's case began last month, he says they have collected well over 30,000 documents and data files from the city. And Bailey claims the few attorneys remaining on Gardner's payroll are enduring a toxic environment that is, quote, driven dedicated attorneys to exhaustion and medical emergencies. There's much more to all this, and we will expand on those new allegations coming up tonight for you on News 4 at 5 o'clock.